How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. This right here is the Mova V50 Ultra Complete Robotic Vacuum. You might not have heard of the Mova brand because it just started in 2024. I've already tested this robot and it performs very, very well if you modify the app settings accordingly. In my testing, I found out that most of the default settings are set a little bit low. This would actually work very well for day-to-day cleaning, except it doesn't work so well when I put it through these intensive tests where I give it a giant pile of dust or hair, or completely cover the floor with tea stains. Feature-wise, it has all the bells and whistles: clean water tank, dirty water tank, vacuum bag, dual solution, one for regular use, one for pet stains. And a feature I haven't seen in many other robotic vacuums is that it'll dry your dust box and bag. This is because when it fills the dust bag, it's gonna have a bunch of bacteria in there, and this will get rid of that. The mops are attached magnetically, so if the robot knows it's only gonna clean the carpet, it'll drop these mops off, and this will prevent any kind of moist mops from touching your carpet. In addition to that, it has hot water washing of the mops and hot air drying. The robot itself has a lidar module that comes up and down, and it can fit under your furniture better. This uses a more efficient dual brush system. Oftentimes when it's a single brush, the spinning is so quick that when it hits the dirt, it can just kick it all the way through and not get sucked up into the robot. So this dual brush, one will go this way, the other one will go that way, making sure that anything gets brushed will eventually get sucked up. The mop and side brush will extend to clean the edges and corners better. The center brush can also lower itself or raise itself depending on the mode. The wheels also has this ability to climb over stuff up to 6 centimeters tall. It's not a one step that's 6 millimeters. If it's one single step, the most it can do is 4.2 centimeters. But if it has a little ledge after that, kind of like a step pattern, it can be up to 6 centimeters tall. The rest is pretty typical. You have these infrared sensors for fall detection. So if it comes up on a ledge like this table, it's not gonna fall off. Or if there are stairs, it's not gonna fall down the stairs. And it even has a front headlight so you can vacuum without turning on your lights. Here's a look at the included accessories. The robot itself already has the main brush, side brush, and the mops installed already. What's included here is in addition to what's on the robot. This includes an additional main brush, 2 side brushes, 6 pairs of mops, which is probably gonna last you the entire lifetime of this robotic vacuum. It also comes with 3 vacuum bags. Another one is in the base station already. And inside the robot, it needs these filters, and it comes with 3 extra ones, a bottle of pet deodorizing solution, and a generous 1-liter bottle of multi-surface floor cleaner. Pop open this front panel, remove the detergent container. You can put 2 types of cleaner here. A is for the general purpose multi-surface cleaner, and B is for the pet deodorizer. Put this in, peel this open, and we put in B. If you look in there, the wall for B ends right here and also right here. It probably uses a lot less of this than the main solution. Also pour that in. It uses the whole bottle. Now close this one up. Put the solution container back in. Replace the lid. I like how the top lid is completely flat, so you can potentially put stuff on here temporarily, but when you go to change the water, you do need to remove everything so that it can flip open. The clear one is usually the clean water tank, and the translucent darker one is the dirty water tank. Pop this open, fill it up with water, close it, and put it back in to get it ready for vacuuming and mopping. Close the lid. With that said, let's do some actual testing and see how it performs. First, we'll do a vacuum test with paper shreds on the carpet, on the edges, and in the corners. I'm gonna set it on custom vacuum mode with maximum suction power and the standard route. There's a couple of pieces of debris left over, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. So quite a bit, but it's a robot, so you can just run it again. Keep in mind, I was using max vacuum power with the standard route. Let me run it again to see if it does better. My cord is a little bit too low. It was trying to avoid an obstacle, so it wasn't able to vacuum right underneath here. Let me do that just one more time and see if it picks that up. I finally realized that by default, this robot does not spin the side brush as it's vacuuming. So we have to go in the app over here, carpet settings, under vacuum, select more settings, and go down to side brush rotates on carpet. Select that and come back out. Usually the robot vacuums have this enabled by default. If it does not have the side brush on, it's not gonna brush all the debris from the side towards the center so that it can vacuum it up. That is precisely the reason why there is kind of like a 4-inch strip along the edge over here where it couldn't vacuum any of the debris. I've enabled that. Let's try that again. I'm much more happier with this result, and it's in line with what I typically see with robotic vacuums. You gotta enable the side brush. Still, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 little specks, and this amount is roughly equivalent to what I see in other robotic vacuums. maybe a little less. I like to do a hair test. Typically when you have a lot of hair on the carpet, you can't really see it because it's spread out so thin. I'm gonna do it in such a way where you can kind of see clumps of it. It looks really scary actually. Rub it in a bit. The default settings of this robot is somewhat low. I noticed that it was also just vacuuming just parallel lines rather than have a grid pattern. When you do the grid pattern, it essentially vacuums it twice. And for the hairs, there's a little bit left here and here. It kind of skipped. And you'll notice I put the wire up already, so it should have went over that. Let's go in the app and go to carpet settings, more settings for under vacuum, and select intensive carpet cleaning. So this is gonna do the crosswalking. It'll take a little bit more time, but I'm just gonna enable it anyway. And let's come back out and start it again. Does the perimeter, does parallel lines, and after it does this, it kind of like drives diagonally in a couple of different places before it goes, okay, I'm done, and then it goes back. Not a big deal. It might be scanning the entire room just to make sure it is where it is and it didn't move, I guess. There is a little bit of stubborn hair over here left over, but overall it picked up all the hairs over here. Let's check out underneath the vacuum if it has any of the hairs stuck in the rollers. No hair stuck whatsoever on these rollers. I do not see even one piece. So that's really, really good. Notice also that since I'm only vacuuming, those mops are removed. Now let's do some tea stains on tile floors on edges and corners. Pretty dry, dry around the edges. Now let's mop this. Left a small mark right here. In the middle of the tile floor, it missed these two spots because the mop, when it's extended, there's a hole right in between. This one is not his fault because the robot simply can't get in there. It's just this big. Same thing over here. So these two spots are just sort of unfair. And it actually did a very good job along the edges and corners. Towards the upper right corner, there is some very, very minor stains left over. What we can do to increase the cleaning is to change it to a deep cleaning route and also use the warm water. I don't think it matters too much because we don't have any oil, so I'm just gonna leave it back at normal and we can start it. Again, it can't reach this one physically. It can't reach that one physically. Everything else is completely clean. This high density deep washing really cleaned up everything. There's a very, very minor light spot here, here, and here. Out of all the other robots I've tested, this is probably the best robot mop result I've gotten. Overall, like I said in the beginning, the default mode is very good for day-to-day usage, but for my kind of testing, I had to turn on all the intensive cleaning features for carpet and also for mopping. If you guys are interested in this Mova V50 Ultra Complete Robotic Vacuum, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.